Oh, there we go. This is going to be Chatfield figuring out a bunch of technology. So, yeah, this is fun. We are going to write a story together, but welcome to Flash Fiction Fridays. I hope this is going to be fun. This is made better with you commenting because I'm going to use your comments. We're going to make a story. It's going to be badass. And that is hilarious. I just started up on Instagram, and the first person who joined it, chasing my kids, which, it's Friday. That is understandable. I gotta go make sure. Oh, there's so many things. All right. All right. Let's gather strength here. Okay. I need a charger. I will be back. I am back. I'm gone. I am unplugging things that I should not unplug. Let's not do that. It's like I should know how my house works, which plugs work. Jesus, stressful. I'm not an electrician. Oh. Okay. Dude, no. Come on. You're anchors. You are friends. There we go. Boom. Boom. Okay. All right. I have a minute. See, this is timing. You know in the Army when they say, hey, if you're a minute early or you're a minute late, you're out of time or whatever. You're like, that's a bunch of crap. That doesn't make any sense. If I squeak this in, that'd be awesome. Nope. That's not how you do that.
Why, hell.
Sorry, Jeff. Excuse me. It's Jeff Hayes doing a TikTok thing. It's a cool guy. Cool. Confirm my age. I'm old. Not that old. Oh, that's one way to do it. Okay. Technology, All right, it's 7 o'clock, all right? It's not a minute past. We're not late yet. Oh, God. Cool. Nope. Give me out. All right. Hello. Okay. So now we're on this. Sweet. All right. That's like all the technology. What's an easy way to put your phone? Excuse me. Sorry. You're getting the worst angle here, TikTok. Sorry about that. That's not going to work. No. Well, if all else fails, just find something and perch it on. Hi. Boom. Boom. And let's get that out of your way there. It's in everyone's way. Okay, whatever. Cool. Let's do this. All right. So we're doing Flash Fiction Friday, which means we're going to make a story in an hour. and we're going to see what we all come up with. So, if you're over on Patreon, I'm going to need your help because you guys have the voting power. Everything. Wow. Okay, that's weird. Hearing your voice come through like 6 different things at once. Oh, has Legion for we are many, apparently. Creepy. Boom, boom. We doing all the things? Doing all the things. Did I do what I think I just did? Okay. Yeah. What's up? I need that one. That one's good. Delete these. All right. Cool. All right. So, we're doing Flash Fiction. We're going to be doing a fantasy lit RPG story. Now, I need some help here. All right. So, you're a fantasy lit RPG. What are tropes that you want or don't want? Also, what are some character ideas you guys got? So, like, when we're thinking about characters, I want to, like, well, they got to have a name. It's pretty useful, you know? Have a name, some kind of physical description. Let's try and, like, place them a little bit. Let's kind of understand who they are, right? So a little bit of background on them, like let's say like 100 words of like background. Okay, so like how did they come to be? Like when you play Oblivion, Skyrim, or a new RPG where it's like, hey, here's some key events that have shaped them. They were this wandering outlaw and they became badasses, and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Let's go with that. Oh, you just went up here. Don't know why you did that. Okay, cool. So, what's your character ideas? What's a name? Let's go with a name. Alrighty. What have we got? Oh, press the wrong button. Everything. Look at me go. All right. Cool. All right. So we've got some ideas here. Okay. So cool. What have we? Do. Some trope ideas. Okay, we've got kingdom building or territory control. So like someone who wants to control an entire village and then go on to make a kingdom and that kind of stuff. I love that idea. I always love when you can go like super macro with it. So you go like, hey, like you control like this plot of land, and then that comes like an acre, and then you can build stuff on it. So you go and like you get more resources. That's a lot of fun. Resource management is a huge pain in the butt with Lit RPG if you want to do it like hard, because it quickly scales out of control like madness, which is fun. It's also madness. So. So, okay, we got that. Garan Holt. Tall, broad shoulders, sun-scarred skin, short cropped gray hair, and a burn across his left jaw. Interesting. Siege engineer turned mercenary captain. Okay. Lost his entire unit during a failed mana breach. Now uses his knowledge of structural weak points and supply logistics to outmaneuver strong enemies. Level 12 tactician class. with deployable constructs and passive battlefield control abilities. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so he's got like, so he can throw down gear. That's awesome. So he's going to probably have to have like some kind of bag of holding or something to be able to do that, or he's got to truck it with him. Now I'm just imagining, like, you know, the guy from Avatar who's like, my cabbages, you know, like a guy like with that cart just running around, just be like, hey, like all of my machines are in here, and he has to like throw them out to deploy them and like protect his little home. That'd be kind of cool. Okay. Kayla Drin. Okay. Lean, wiry frame, black braided hair, one eye replaced by a glowing Manticore. Okay. That's I don't know. That's kind of creepy because I kind of wonder if it's like going to glow through like the outside of the occipital right there. But yeah, see on that. That'd be kind of cool. Okay. All right. All right. Once a Mana Scout for the Royal Army. Oh, hey, Richie. How you doing? Once a Mana Scout for the Royal Army, left after being betrayed in a political purge. Okay. Tracks corrupted beast and dungeon mutations. Specialized in stealth, war detection, and guerrilla tactics. Class is Veil Runner. Can trace ambient mana signatures and strike from shadows. That's cool too. Like, all right, we got some solid contenders here. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Just got all these comments going in. Well, hey there. Sweet. Okay. All right. We've got Brand Coster. Okay, broad nose, blonde beard, with a permanent. I'm gonna guess that's a lisp and a jovial smirk. Once a caravan guard, now a level 14 warbound defender. He specializes in barrier deployment, mana siphons, and battlefield zoning. Good with a shield, better with a plan, loyal to the core. He'll take a hit that'll kill a lesser man just to keep the line from breaking. I like that too. You know, like when there's like, I like that wardbound defender. That makes me kind of think of him having enchanted gear and him being linked to his enchanted gear, and that like his resilience is his gear's resilience. I always like that, kind of like the gear and them are kind of connected. That's fun. Okay. Hey there, Bob. Bob has so got Seat. He was an orphan. Parents killed by unknown assassins. Now he wants to hunt the shadows. Sorry, his name is not Seat. His name is Jim Bob. Jim Bob is an orphan. His parents were killed by unknown assassins. Now he wants to hunt from the shadows. He wants to kill the shadows by being a shadow. Now he attacks the evil terrorists attacking his home kingdom. It's an island kingdom, so it can scale to the large world. I love that. Yeah, so it's really nice when you can go from a smaller area into a bigger area, because then you have that scalability. You know, you see that with cultivation. You see that with Wuxia Xania kind of books, where you start small, you're the smallest or the lowest of the low, and then you go up from there. Love it. Okay. I like that, Bob. That is a great idea. Okay, so we're taking Jim Bob. Jim Bob is our main character. We're having fun. A little bit of the rules here. We're doing safe for work stories. All right, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, everything here is like public domain stuff, because to work with it, to let it be public domain, just because then I can play with it, then I can mess with it, and we can share it with everyone, and we don't have to worry about all the legalese of ideas and all that good stuff. And cheers. It's Friday. Let's have some fun. Okay, so we're doing a fantasy lit RPG. Our character's name is Jim Bob. Does Jim Bob have any allies? Let's roll for it. Let's say even he has allies. Odd he doesn't have allies. Oh, no. Okay, maybe if I can roll this problem. So we've got 2. I said even for allies, right? Yeah, even. So he's got allies. Okay, he's on an island. All right. What else we got? I am really liking that idea. Where was it? The kingdom building of territory control. That's fun. Oh. Does he have gear? Let's see. We're doing odds and evens again. I really should write this down or else I'm going to lose it. Oh. All right. So, okay. He has limited gear. All right. That's totally fair. I can live with that. So, okay. God, we're really tempted to go with the crafting, not the crafting guy, the guy who's dropping all the gear. Take a part of that. Let's have deployable constructs. So, yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I like that. We're cooking right now. Okay, cool. I want to take something out of what we got here with Bob's. Oh, how about this? How about he tracked down the assassins, and this island is the Shadow Assassins base. Right? They came on an airship, which was shot down. And there's gear all across the area. Okay, so like we're thinking kind of like Fortnite right now. All right, so it's like there's random gear that we've got all over the place, and this makes it so we can go grab that gear, go use that gear as we want to, so they can kind of power themselves up that way. That's pretty cool. That gives them like siege weaponry and stuff that's just littered across the place. I like that. Okay. All right, so the Shadow Assassin's base. Let's see. Let's do a random generator. Can we do random monster? Wow, this is... Don't know what that is. That sounds terrifying. Let's go find out that. Bloodfen Abomination. Actually, let's roll for it. All right, we got 10 options. We'll just double them up. 8, which is 4. Furnace Horror. Okay, what the heck is a Furnace Horror? Let's go find out. A Furnace Horror is... Well, there's a movie called Furnace Horror, so... Don't think it's that. Bloodfen Abomination. Okay, that's okay. Cool. We're gonna go with that. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit darker with this, I guess. It is kind of a homunculi. Homunculi monster. And it has armor plates nailed on. Okay, so that's going to be a huge AC. Okay, cool. All right, we've got some stuff here. Okay. Let's how many allies do we want him to have? One. Whoa, that's a one right there. That's good stuff. Oof, rough day for fucking Jim Bob here. he's one friend. Okay. Yeah. It's not doing super good. The armor plates have squirrel faces painted on them. Okay. Entombed with with the souls of squirrels entombed within. That's kind of terrifying. Jim Bob, who is your ally? Who's your friend gonna be? We'll go through the people. Let's see. Does anyone want to come up with a friend for Jim Bob? Kind of want to call him Buckeye. It's kind of like two guys on a fishing trip that just magically got a little bit chaotic. That's totally fine. The one friend is a ghost of his ex. Oh. Does she know that it's like this is her ex? Go on, Brian. Hi, Maria. Ghost of his ex. Okay. All right. Oh. Let's see. So is she pissed at him? Oop, pressed a button I shouldn't have. That's always fun. So he has one ally. Her name is Becky. And she's so she's pissed with him. Okay. She was the sacrifice. Oh, we can use that. We can play with that. Okay. So yeah, she was a blood sacrifice to rise the Bloodfen, but Jim Bob was able to disrupt it a little bit, and now she's in ghostly form. It's not going great for their couples counseling. That's for dang sure. Okay. Sorry. There is a thing going on with Flash Fiction on Facebook. Oh, I gotta love technology. You know, it's great. It's great. It's absolutely great. Is this working? Okay, cool. That's working. Alrighty. That's fine. Love that name. Came from the book Chronicles of Amber. Okay, so see, this is just like that one Thanksgiving meal with my family. I told you to set the oven to 400, but no, you just had to keep it at 350 and keep our bird raw. So if you had to adjust course from the get-go, we would never end up this stupid ice planet of dumbness. Fair. That's fair. You always gotta have, you gotta have a good steerer on an airship. That's for sure. Okay, so we got some stuff here. All right, let's get started on things. If you were just tuning in, go check out Patreon, go check out Facebook, go check out Instagram, go check out YouTube. We've got us making a Flash Fiction live from your comments and ideas, and we're just gonna kind of get into it. Okay, so we have our main character, Jim Bob. Jim Bob has one ally, which is a ghost of his ex, which is not very pleased with him. She was actually killed to raise was it Bloodfen? Bloodfen abomination. Let's update that. They're on an island. They've got limited gear. They crashed the airship getting there, so there's like stuff from the airship all over the place. This was a shadow assassin space, and they were doing a ritual which Jim Bob has now interrupted. All right, so Jim Bob was not having the greatest of days. First, his ex, Becky, was kidnapped. First, his ex was kidnapped, by the very people who had killed his parents. And he was not going to let that happen on his watch. No, sirree. It's got to be 2 E's, right? Yeah, didn't get a right squiggle. Had more than that long weekend I had down south. My cousin Carl, south of my cousin Carl. Didn't know what the heads or tails of booze. Heads or tails when making booze. That's one way to get a headache. You mix that all up, you don't take your heads or your tails off. Woo, yeah, you're on a rough day. Jim Bob, a voice called out to him. How are we going to make this? How do you make a ghostly voice? Just like a guitar. Like a banjo. Hey, Paul. Yeah, Maria, you totally find it. It shows on Discord if you want to. I had Mad Dog 2020 the mix, and you won't remember what you were doing. That is fair. Yeah, Jim Bob. Jim Bob's already having a great time. Off tone echo. There we go. Off tone echo. What? Who? Brandished his handy wrench. You're a slow one to catch on, Becky said. What has happened? Jim Bob asked. Assassins that turned into cultists. All right, so what I'm thinking for Jim Bob, I'm thinking that Jim Bob uses a wrench. Like he's like a redneck mechanic, essentially, right? This guy knows how to put stuff to get back together with baling wire, spit, and a bit of duct tape. Now it's not always steady, and he knows how to like juice it a bit more, so he can get a lot more out of it, but it'll probably degrade quite a bit faster. But he can make anything. Now I'm thinking that he's going to be kind of squishy because he's running around, but he does have redneck strength. How's that class build sound? Thoughts, questions, queries? I'm thinking, yeah. Love your stories, boss. Are you a plotter or a pantser? I'm a pantser, and in this, we are pantsering to the craziness. That is the truth of the matter here. Assassin's kidnapped me. All right, to a table. Altar thing. Assassins kidnapped me, tied me to a table or altar thing, and they stabbed me. Then they stabbed me to kickstart that thing. She pointed at a. Oh, we got to think of a kind of enclosure. At a hill. Prow of his old reliable airship had pierced through. Oh, Darlene. The front of his coveralls at the site of his broken Beauty. Ephemeral arms. Windmilled through Jim Bob's chest. Yeah, yeah. Through Jim Bob's chest. Ooh. Making him shiver as the cold spread through him. Ethereal. That's a good word. Yeah. I always go with ephemeral. It's a fun word, I think. Yeah, I'm thinking that Jim Bob, he's got coveralls. Baseball cap. Pikachu. And like a, do I want to give him a tool belt? Yeah, let's give him a tool belt. That makes sense. Else, where the heck's he pulling that wrench out of? Don't answer that, stream. Do not answer that. Making him shiver as the cold spread through him. I got stabbed in the chest, and you're here complaining about your boat. My grandpappy built her. Jim Bob said, not sure if he should, can't spell today, raise his arms to defend himself against the cold onslaught of being hit by a ghost. Are you? Wait, what? Jim Bob asked something strong. Snapped. You know when tether cables snap? They snap and they make that noise like, shoo. Oh, how the heck do you like? See, this is the fun part. You got to try and explain that noise in here. So what you can do is you can like make one of those like. There's a word for it. There's a smart word for it. Smarter people said this, but essentially, like, it's a word that you use to like make a noise. You know when you see like comic books, it's like wham, bam, punch on the explosions, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's cool and useful. How do I explain that noise though? That's a hard one. Okay, something strong snapped. With that. The metal tang sang across the area as the tension decompressed. I'm gonna take some of that. Yeah. Something strong snapped. As the tension that had torn it apart being released. A cable shot out from the opening in the hill, tearing through Darlene's hull and tossing it to the side. What in the blazing 7 hells and 9 infernos is that? Mountaineer jumped out of his skin, seeing whatever freaky deakiness stared out at him from inside the hill. That is a blood-fed abomination that my soul is being used to fuel. If you could kill the dang thing, I'd much appreciate. Becky's voice Mountaineer dripped. Sarcasm. Would be sarcasm. We'll fix that in post. I don't think it would be sarcasm. I don't know. All right, well, we'll work with that. Okay, so let's go check out. We're going to start. We're going to fight. A big old fight going on. You know what? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so how the hell you expect me to act something like that? It's like legs does it got. Six legs, one oversized head, and 4 arms. They also strapped armor to the damn thing. Like one of your backyard racers that you take out. Six legs, one oversized head, and 4 arms. They also strapped armor to the thing, like one of your wasteland racers. Then they enchanted that armor with the souls of infuriated squirrels. Thank you, TJ. Thank you. Squirrels. Jim Bob's back to the side. And a look of disgust on his face. All right, now we're going to do the stats. All right, so what stats are we going to have? So he's a crafter. He's got strength. We need him to fight off a summoned abomination creation thing. That's fun. Okay, so what stats are we going to have? Well, we're going to have, he has fixing powers. He's only going to have a limited amount of them because you always have to balance it out, right? You have to, like, if you give someone like a really cool power, you have to make sure that they have like a balance to it, or else it's just like, oh, super cool powerness, and then you're like, all right, well, that was fun. Story's done. Boom. I guess this is a short story, so we can kind of like go crazy with it. Or we could just go for skills. We could do that. Would he need a decent perception skill? I don't know. Jim Bob doesn't sound like he's the smartest of crafters out there. Like he reminds me of my buddy's friend who took apart a Humvee and rebuilt it in like the space of 6 hours because it was the period of time where Humvees just were not reliable. It was a new generation of Humvee, and it would just like sand, like they didn't have the filters or anything, and so sand would just absolutely destroy it. And like dumb as a brick, but a genius with technology. Well, not technology, mechanical systems. So I think we're gonna go that way. Like he can, like I would definitely see him having that way of, hey, let's, like he can see what it's going to become. Like he's like kind of blueprints it in his mind. He's like, oh, let's go do this, go do this. Yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? We're going to have to roll for his weapons checks. Yeah. That's going to be fun. Okay. So let's also come up with some specifics for this Blood Fen. All right. So it's got 6 legs, 4 arms, huge head, not a forehead, 6 head. Can't spell that. Okay. Dump truck of a head. All right, so cool. We got an idea. Damn varmint. I don't even know if that's right. Oh, okay. I like that, Maria. Okay, so we're talking about perception of like he's going to have a huge perception or not. We'll see. And she was just saying, well, like just because you can see the issues doesn't mean you have all the smarts to actually fix the issues. So you okay, that's a problem, but you don't know how to fix it. That's totally makes sense. TJ says the MacGyver lit RPG. Give me duct tape, bubble gum, and a stick. I'm gonna make a bomb. That is fair. Is a little easier with some other things involved. Chemicals mostly. That's for sure. But okay, what have we got? Okay, so we got Blood Fen, huge head, cool. Damn. Okay, so we're back to Jim Bob. He's just been told that this abomination has its dimensions and stuff. They enchanted the armor that is strapped to it with the souls of infuriated squirrels. I got an idea. Jim Bob got an idea. We're going to have to see if that works out. Yeah. I got to make a note. Here's the thing. Authors, we're always making notes because if you don't write it down, you forget it. And most of the time, it's fun. Oh, I like that idea. That's a fun idea. That doesn't make much sense, but who needs to make sense when you've got fantasy? The hold my beer moments are their perception skills, fighting over their intelligence skills, but the wisdom to keep their beer safe. So it's like, you know, when you like fall and you're like, beer safe, and you're just like, that's great, but you're just like absolutely broken. But you're like, but this beer is, that's the thing that's gonna save me right now. 100%. I'm in for it. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go for this. Okay, squirrels. Damn. So, squirrels. Jim Bob spat to the side with a look of disgust in his face. Damn varmint. His gaze swept over his surroundings. Darlene's armaments lay strewn across himself on. Okay, his gaze swept over his surroundings. Darlene's armaments lay strewn across the grassy plain that he found himself on. From spear throwers to mana cannons. The remains of ruins that lay upon before his arrival had been crushed under her valiant keel. Yeah, that's a fun one. For all you ship nerds out there, you'll know what a keel is. Lol, I still got my beer. Damn right. All right. Okay. So under his valiant keel. Okay. What do we got? Time seemed to slow down as his mind built up a full head of steam. Eyes jumping between across the between parts and components as he started piecing together a plan. His free hand resting on roll of trusty. It's always trusty. Duct tape on his hip while he adjusted his grip upon wrench in his right hand. Cue the Mew. Jim Bob? Oh, Jimmy boy? Oh. Hello? Yes. Floating in midair. So, time seems to slow down as his mind built up a full head of steam, eyes jumping between parts and components as he started piecing together a plan. His free hand resting on the roll of trusty duct tape on his hip, while he adjusted his grip upon the wrench in his right hand. Cue the mute. Jim Bob? Oh, Jimmy boy. Oh, hello, Becky asked, floating in midair and waving her hand in Jim Bob's face. What now, Becky? You were zoning out there, looking all confused and cross-eyed and shit. I think I can swear on this. I was figuring me a plan. Well, jump to it. Another snap of released of cabling and go rang through the air like a gunshot. Yep. Ran through the air like a gunshot. Another snap of cabling, letting go, ran through the air like a gunshot. Setting Jim Bob off towards a spear thrower. Jumped on the back of it. Okay, so we're gonna roll for him actually fixing this. 13, okay. Okay. So 13 was minimum. He got 17, which is pretty sweet. Okay with that. Okay, so what's 17 going to do for him? Is he going to be able to get it operational? Still, okay. Jumps on the back of it, hauling it upright. Using wrench, comma, duct tape. That's 2 T's. Duct tape and baling wire. He pulled the weapon back together into working order. Right. Then he was off to the next weapon. Okay, how many weapons are around? That's way too many. That's HGC. Okay. Clean roll. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. We've just done some rolling. I'm going to hide those rolls from you because then we're going to see what this is. Back together. We're going to use on to the next weapon. Okay. Next was mana cannon. Though it's a shot in it. Jim Bob rooted around in his Expando pockets of his coveralls, pulling out oh, come on. It's a brand new bag of sunflower seeds. Jim Bob rooted around in his expanded pockets of his coveralls. Oh, come on. It's a brand new bag of sunflower seeds. With tears at the edge of his eyes, he stuffed the full bag of seeds into the cannon's mouth. So redneck strength has been activated. He picked up the cannon with one arm, pushing an ancient brick under the cannons, where the cannon was missing a wheel, leveling it. Next was a trebuchet. Next was a cannon with it's a shot still in the barrel. Thought that was unloaded. Dad would have my ass for cannon safety. His dad would have had his ass for cannon safety. Two more cables snapped and released. Got to turn off a setting that is making me not able to see stuff. Cool. He picked up the cannon with one arm, pushing an ancient brick where the cannon was missing a wheel, leveling it out. Next was cannon with a shot still in the barrel. I thought it was unloaded. His dad would have had his ass for cannon safety. Always make sure you unload your shit. Two more cables snapped and released, speeding Jim Bob on his way. Jim Bob, I hope you're hard over there. I got this, Becky. He yelled back over his shoulder. I think it's nearly free now. There was another snap, and then a okay. There's another snap. Okay, now we have to have the entire hill explode. Would you just say that? Then the hill exploded. Very Michael Bay, but it works. Another hill, and the hill exploded. The creature yelling out of what sounded like 5 throats at the same time, scattering chunks of the hill falling on the ground. Jim Bob pushed a cannonball into the next cannon, frowning cannon's muzzle, frowning at the texture. He looked down to see the cannonball still at his feet and a pumpkin in the pumpkin loaded inside the cannon instead. Oh, crap. He had forgotten to take off redneck strength. Got to do a thing here. Boop. He forgot to take off redneck strength, shoving the entire, now wedging the pumpkin into cannon. Okay. Bloodfen stomped out of its prison as Becky's form became dimmer. She clenched at her chest in obvious pain. Her yelling and screaming and hollering, let's keep it the theme, had been driven by her fear of what was to come. Her eyes cut into Jim Bob's. Oh, this is a good scene. Jim Bob's very soul. She was the one that got away. The one that he should have cleaned up his act for, or at least cleaned up the house a bit more for. She'd been there for him and in his quest to hunt down the assassins that killed his family. Only now he saw the cost that quest had brought him. For now, he stood on the precipice of losing what could have been his family. Yeah, I think that works. So essentially we're saying that Becky is really distressed right now. She is a ghost. That's kind of freaky. She's been sacrificed to raise a bloodfen, which is not great, by the assassins that killed Jim Bob's parents. And he has been so focused on hunting down these assassins and all of this that he's kind of forgotten the biggest point of, like, well, I guess I'm not the biggest point, but something that he should have been paying attention to, which was he lost his parents, yes, but he still had a life with Becky, and he could have worked towards that life with Becky, but he took her for granted and he took his situation for granted. And so he was so focused on his quest that he kind of lost sight of everything else. And now it's all coming crashing down on him. We're having this emotional reveal. And he's like kind of saying, hey, I could have been with Becky and we could have had a family. And that would have been really cool. That would have been really nice. And you know what? If you want to find out more, because I'm seeing the time, it is 8:08 here. I will finish the rest of this story and bring it to a close. I have a couple of notes of what's going to be happening, but if you want to go check that out, go check it over on Patreon. I will be putting that up by Sunday, and I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, hope you have fun. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, right? I really hope that we can do some more of this. With just doing, hey, let's make a story together and make something kind of cool. We are also doing short story Saturdays, which is basically you ask me for a short story from any universe, or like just an idea that you have that's like really like kind of formed, and just like kind of send me a message about that. We're gonna have some questionnaires that are up on Patreon. Send me that information, and then your fellow patrons will be able to pick out which story I actually go and write, which is kind of cool. And we'll go from there. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Like, Flash Fiction is just going to be me live trying to make a story and us having a whole bunch of fun. But it's all made by you guys, guys and gals, because we get to make this all together. Anyway, I hope you had fun. Let me know what you thought of it. And I will share this story with you on Sunday. And until then, have fun. Have a great weekend. And yeah, it's the weekend. Bon voyage.